Alright, shalom, shalom to the whole full elected nation of Israel. We're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. And I've word in truth and sincerity and peace and mercy to the elect, starting with 144,000. That's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And the rest of you elect to believe, peace and mercy to you and your household. Okay, so yeah, man, we're doing another live in class. Okay, rolling in the spirit. A lot of things are happening, and if you're keeping up with prophecy in the spirit, we're hitting the climax of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, now I got this article real quick. That's brothers have been doing lessons on it concerning civil war, because civil war is another term for Jacob's trouble. Okay, so this is from the People's Voice. I'm just going to pull up the article here and read, and then, something else I want to mention is the message is of faith, man. The message we got is of faith and confidence, because that's what you're going to need in Jacob's trouble. Okay, not of fear and doubt. All right, so that's why a lot of brothers were catching hell, because we're catching hell so we can be refined for Jacob's trouble, man. So I'll pull this up here. So this is from the People's Voice, and it says UN troops to be deployed across U.S. as Pentagon prepares for civil unrest, May 15, 2024. So I'll just read through it. And it says, the Biden regime has agreed to allow thousands of UN troops to be deployed across the U.S.
Which we told, no, I don't want to say we, it's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, but the elders have been saying this for the longest. The elders have been saying that it's not going to be American soldiers, it's going to be United Nations soldiers that are going to be upon American soil, because American soldiers would still have a little bit of feelings. These UN soldiers, they speak all different types of languages. They're gonna come and they're just gonna blow your head off because they don't care about you Americans. They don't care about you. They don't have any familiarity with you, right? And this is exactly what's coming to pass. I remember the elders speaking about this all the way back in the 2000s, man. In the early 2000s, saying that it was gonna be the United Nations, and that's who they signed the agreement with.
That's right. That's right. And it goes on to say, across the U.S., in anticipation of mass civil unrest in America.
Yeah, because a lot of the civil unrest is really coming from people who have been trained by the U.S. Army as well. You have a lot of disgruntled men that were a part of the Army.
Right.
Or the Marines or whatever, right? So they have certain knowledge, the inner workings of warfare.
Yep. According to a report by Greg Reese, which Greg Reese is a part of Alex Jones' company, his team, it says the UN is directing the migrant crisis in America with contingencies.
Contingents?
Yeah,
Contingencies.
Yeah. Of its own forces embedded in the military age migrant caravans to activate civil unrest at a later date. So that's sleeper cells. And I know a lot of brothers been bringing out that these migrants are coming over the border. Not all of them are just nobodies, man. A lot of them are sleeper cells. They're ex, military officers and whatnot, and they know what they're doing, man. And the brother Abawan Kabar brought up a good point. When you look at all the migrants that were coming over the border, not one of them were overweight, right? And he said that they were trimmed, they were cut. So these guys are not people who haven't been trained. A lot of them have been trained, some of them haven't, but that's the whole point, is you don't know which is which. Hence sleeper cells, right? So it says, Greg Reese report, the southern border of the United States is wide open, and the federal government has been conducting a of flooding the country with unvetted foreigners, distributing them across the United States, providing them with homes and financial support. The GOP's talking point has been that this is all about election fraud. Yeah, because when the election comes, when is that? November, October?
Yeah.
Usually around
Right.
November.
Right. So if you look at what Esau is doing, you know, you American citizens are completely divided. Some of you are on this side, some of you are on that side. You know what I mean? So depending on how things play out, when that election plays out, whoever gets elected and whatnot, it's going to cause a lot of civil unrest. People are going to be upset at certain decisions and whatnot. But they already, you know, Esau has already been, planning for this to happen.
Yeah, order out chaos.
Order out chaos.
Yeah,
That's right.
Same problem here in this country, brother, what you
Yeah.
just broke down, okay?
Yeah.
Well, we have a guy, real quickly, Prime Minister. His track record in how he has run this country, I'm gonna say as a figurehead, right? Tells the whole tale. Okay? Simply put, just wanted
Yeah.
to bring that out there with you.
Yeah, well, the next thing actually it links with your point. It says, bro, this fraud has been happening all across the Western world, including Canada.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you Israelites, don't forget, Canada is a part of America. It's just not the Mecca. All right. So
Well, on the RCMP said to get prepared for civil unrest as well.
right. Okay. Okay.
Not too long ago, it was like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Beautiful point. Remember I said I was gonna send you the thing?
Yeah.
But I didn't
yeah.
send it to you, I
Right,
apologize,
right.
but now I can speak on it, I'll send it to
Yeah.
you later.
Yeah.
But there is a proposition from certain individuals in politics that wants to fortify, they want to push the bill to fortify come here, that the employers guarantee up to 70% of their wages.
Mhm.
So look into that, okay, you people out there that's dead, but you won't understand it, but we're gonna show some things here for the elect to receive. I just wanted to bring that point out. I'm gonna send you the link still.
Right.
Send the link. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Con. I'll just read this last paragraph. We got a priest about it. Real quick, it says, "We are told that these are poor families fleeing tyranny, but they are massive amounts of healthy young men without any families, and the time and time again, we have seen them act violently. Yeah, like those two little youths, you know, it's Northern Tribe youths that came and beat up a cop, and then got bailed out. You know, got bailed out of jail and everything like that. And they came out, and you know, you have people videotaping them and whatever, news reporters all around them. They're just sticking up the middle finger like "fuck you" and whatnot. They got a cell phone. They got their cell phone bill paid for. This is just all things that Esau is doing to agitate the people, right? To basically, they're not just checking your temperature, but they're controlling your temperature. They want things hot because Japan just came out with the fact that, you know, they're deploying the 6G infrastructure. They're playing that out, the 6G network. Now, to set up one infrastructure, you have to destroy the other, right? And then, as the elder said, order out of chaos. Exactly.
Beautiful. That's
Right?
Yeah, they did that in the 80s with Cuba, right? When Castro sent over all them criminals.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
when they were
right,
fleeing from Cuba, but a lot of criminals came over as well.
Mhm.
That's where they made that movie Scarface from, right? And a lot of criminals came over and they started a lot of warfare in the streets, man.
Beautiful. Wow. Yeah. As you're saying that, that's the spirit that brought it back. But just quickly, two of the tools that they use, that you people use, and we already know about it, is the Hegelian dialectic, problem reaction solution, going into breaking one thing down and building up another, causing confusion everywhere, and Stockholm syndrome. Those tools you guys like to use, right? Forever, right, to bring your order out of chaos. So we know what's going on, man, and we're telling you in the light of prophecy, right? But our substance is different. from you people. Okay, because he said it at the beginning.
God.
Precept.
And you know, the Lord is really, I'm going to finish it up, but you know, the Lord is really saving the best for last, which is North America. Because in Europe, throughout the whole East right now, they're going through some real things. Now over here, yeah, we got our things that we're going through, you know, inflation, violence is going up, but everybody's distracted by all these different bread and circuses. First it was Diddy, then it was the whole rap feud between Drake and Kendrick, and now the whole fight between Jake, Paul, and Tyson is coming up, and people are just focused on that. And then the video came out about Diddy beating up Cassidy.
Oh yeah.
This is just bread and circus, man.
Yeah.
And we keep forgetting that these people are actors.
Exactly.
Yeah, paid actors.
That's right, paid actor.
And it's like Esau's smart, man. He's really smart. He's a devil that the Most High created him to be, because all these things are lined up. They're lined up one after another.
Ready.
Just when one's about done, a next bread and circus come.
And
Right.
we keep forgetting who owns the media.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right.
So it goes on to say, seeing them act violently against the native population with very little repercussions from the law, as we are expecting the announcement of disease X, which just means unknown. You got a lot of things popping up: bird flu, H1N1, the measles, all kinds of things are popping up, and another lockdown. And that's why you see these different countries, like Biden just signed a treaty with the World Health Organization.
That's right.
So what does that do? That gives them veto power, basically, to do whatever if they want to declare a lockdown because of certain crises, they can do it.
Well, they just made a digital ID that you can come. They brought it out that they're doing digital ID out here.
Yeah, there's some, and in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a place in Quebec that do it in
They
Canada.
just posted that just recently.
And another lockdown, a recent report from the UK, Jim Ferguson, provides a plausible explanation for what we are seeing. And plus that president of Slovakia just got shot, and he was heavy against signing a treaty with the WHO. Then his replacement is all for the WHO.
Of course it is.
So that was espionage. That was a gangster movement.
Yeah, always.
You know what I mean? So
Always.
now you see these NGOs, non-government organizations. So they're outside of the government.
That's right.
Are taking over these different companies, companies, because really they are corporations, but countries, and establishing, you know, their authority.
That's right.
Setting up shop.
That's right, setting up shop. Okay, so with all that being said, I brought that out now we know that these are the conditions we're entering into. We're into a mass, like Cuba's completely finished right now. Cuba's in an uproar. People are waking up to their bank account being cleaned out, going to the ATM, they can't receive any cash.
Did you hear about the pension? They took all the people's pension, wiped it,
Right. You
wiped
see?
it all out.
And now America is stepping in and saying, what, you know what, we will help you out and we're going to offer you the UBI system. And we all tasted UBI before UBI when you look at CERT. Right? You got a certain amount of money every month. Now, all this does, and they're bringing the guys under climate change to help the earth, so on and so forth. But all this does is bring more control, because now you got your, your carbon footprint. Hey, you know what, you be eating too much meat this week, so we're gonna have to cut you off from meat for the next 2 weeks. And because everything's gonna be tied, that UBI system is gonna be tied to that 6G network. That 6G network is the infrastructure for the MOTB. And you have to have the eyes to see what's going on. Now, with all that being said, what are your leaders telling you, Israel? Are your leaders telling you about these things? Are they setting you up? Are they putting you in a mindset to see what's coming down the pipe so you can align yourself with Yahweh Hashem Shai? Or are they telling you that, you know what, it's going to be okay, this is good for us, this, that, and the third? Right? Now, you had a precept?
Yeah, I have something to add.
Okay, I'm going to bring something out after you.
This is Luke chapter 21, verse 9. It says, "But when ye shall hear of wars and commotion, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and Salakia, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you, and prosecute you, deliver you up to the synagogues, and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony.
Yeah, are you Israelites ready for that? Are you ready to be brought upon, in the face of the rulers of this earth? Are you ready to go through a situation where you're without, which means you're poor? Poor means to be lacking. You're going to be lacking things in the world. But in the spirit, if you're taught, if you're given the truth and the understanding, you're going to be rich in the faith. That's what you want to be going into Jacob's trouble. You don't want to be rich in, because everybody, you look at all these doomsday preppers, and all of them are pointing to like tin, get stock up on tin, stock up on gold, stock up on silver.
But not to get back to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh.
Exactly. They don't know that this is a spiritual thing what's happening, man. The calamities that are coming upon the earth, gold and silver are not going to get you out of it. You're going to have a mindset that's linked to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, and you have to be rich in faith. Like our forefathers, when they were put in certain situations, they were rich in faith, and therefore the Most High saved them out of those situations. Okay.
It says, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and a wisdom which all your adversaries will to gainsay nor resist.
Situations like that already, where sometimes, like right now, we're rolling in the spirit, but it's the Most High that's speaking. I didn't, none of us had a list of precepts prepared. Sometimes you go on the highways and byways, you do a lesson, it's the same thing. You know what that does? It builds up your faith.
He says, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren, and kinsfolks, and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death.
God, that's a reality that the majority of teachers and leaders in Israel are not teaching Israel. Like yes, you got the flock, but we gotta pinpoint the leaders, because it starts with you. You leaders, you're gonna have a lot of blood in your hands, man, and your congregation is gonna be if they're not the elect, they're gonna be left out there to die, and that's gonna be on you, because you're teaching. You need to set them up.
Well, you've already killed them spiritually, so the only thing that's left is for them to die physically.
It says, verse 17. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Right.
But there shall not a hair of your head perish.
You see?
Beautiful.
That's the eight. When Daniel's brethren, those three brothers, when they went into the furnace, they didn't go in there cowardly. They went in there with bold faith. They went in there with bold faith, and that's why not one hair was singed off their body. That's the kind of faith we're gonna have, coming into Jacob's trouble, man. And that faith only comes from the truth. It only comes from having the truth.
It says, in your patience possess ye your souls.
Right. Yeah, control yourself, man. Discipline yourself. Every single one of us are going through individual tests in situations where it's easy just to let go, right? But the better way is to abstain from the lust of the flesh, because you're either feeding the flesh or you're feeding the inner man, the spiritual man. It's one or the other.
Let me get this last point here. And it says, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Right.
Beautiful.
It's a people before it's a place. right? So once we see these troops on the
Yeah,
streets,
UN troops.
UN troops.
And you know what? Just to back it up,
yeah,
about last year or 2 years when the what happened?
The thing.
When the thing happened,
The sea
when,
thing.
yeah, when the serpent bite
Mhm.
came, we had the UN troops tanks already here
yeah.
in friggin' up north.
Up north.
They
That's
had
right.
a whole stack full of them,
Mhm.
full of them,
We
and
saw
up
the
till now,
train. We saw the train
we've seen
pulling,
the train,
pulling
and
them.
they're here still.
Yeah.
And up till now, no one's speaking on it.
That's
no
right.
One, no one ain't talking about, oh, they're still here. It never left the country. It's still
Yeah.
been
They
here.
build them in my.
So-
They're building them up in Brampton.
So having that happen in America, it's gonna be happening here too.
Yeah.
So Canada don't get comfy
Yeah.
sitting back and eating popcorn and laughing. How yeah, it's happening right here in your homeland, man.
Yeah.
It's still whatever happens to America happens to Canada.
Yeah.
It's Babylon.
And you know, truly in the spirit, I kind of believe that famine the word will start here and spread out to America, because again, the Lord, you know, is going to save the best for last. And America, okay, the United States, which is a corporation, that is the mecca of all wickedness. And really, with Trudeau, with the bill that they just introduced, it hasn't been passed yet, but it's been introduced.
That
C63?
right? Bill
Which?
dash
C63?
63. Yeah.
Well, it's already been passed mentally because people are gonna start moving like it's been passed because they've already
True.
said that they're gonna be able to pull up what you said in the past.
Yeah.
So that doesn't even make any sense according to law.
Con.
According to law, that wouldn't even make any sense. But because they're so wicked and because that law is so draconian,
Con.
they've already passed it.
Con.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
why would people? It's not like people are gonna say
Right.
wickedness, not or quote unquote wickedness,
Right.
to then implicate themselves later on when they do pass it.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
it's gonna be held against you anyway. So people are already moving
Yeah.
as if it's been passed.
Yeah.
You see how intelligent they are?
Wow. Wow. Hey, so hey,
Yeah.
those receipts just came out. Did you hear that? And the precepts came out in regards to it, and it was already broken down in the spirit before it even came out, right? Because we saw the article. We know what the article is saying. Hey, but those are receipts, and we have the divine receipts, right? I have two precepts. I don't know if you have
Yeah,
something
go ahead,
real.
go ahead.
Yeah, I have something real
You have
quick.
something? No, bring that up.
This is Matthew 6:19.
Beautiful.
Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. That was just a precept.
Yeah.
No, that's powerful.
That's right.
That's powerful. Hebrews 11:1 comes to mind because how the elect is going to get out. You read it there, right? If you know what, I think I have
Yeah,
that one.
that's a mentality.
Yes, mentality. The
man.
substance is this truth.
Yeah.
It says faith is a substance, so we know it's a knowledge, right? And wisdom brings that knowledge, okay,
Right.
and understanding and how to move in this time, right, for the elect.
Which you can only get through obedience.
Con, that's right.
You know, because we're gonna be put in we're gonna be put in situations where you're gonna want to do it your way. As a spirit living in this flesh. But if you don't have the truth, if you don't have the correct understanding of the scriptures, how can you be obedient? How do you know what to do in that time? How do you know how to be still? How do you even know what that is? So obedience is very key, especially now, so that when that time comes, we know we're getting divine instruction. You know, and that's what builds up your faith as you go on.
Yeah, that's
Because as you get to the very end of whatever your lot is, right? Your lot might be, the end of your lot might be death. Your end of your lot is probably seeing everything get beamed up, right? You're going to be growing in faith, and that's why like a lot of the apostles and elders are doing, and brothers are doing, are targeting these false doctrines. Here we are at the foot of at the door of Jacob's trouble, the height of it, and you got teachers telling you Esau is so-called black man with red hair. The Lord loves Esau, Well, how is that preparing Israel for Jacob's trouble? Now we understand it's only for the elect, right? It's only for the elect. So these guys are set up to do their job, but it's our job as well to call out what you're doing according to the scriptures. You know.
I have the word faith because it's just for edification, real quick. Faith, because it is a gift from Yehovah Hashem Shai. That's what it is. That's what it goes into. That substance. Okay, that encompasses all of the scriptures, being led of the Spirit, following Yahweh. Right? He has to give you that gift, and as the brother mentioned, how are you going to receive that gift? So, real quick, I just for the record, I'll just bring out this word here. It says basically what you just broke down, but I just wanted to bring it for the folks. It says faith, right, as a noun, which is a noun is the action word. It says faithfulness to a trust or promise, loyalty to a person, honesty and truthfulness, right, going into the scriptures. And we know Yehovah Hashem Shai never tells a lie, and what he passes on to his prophets. Okay, on down, starting with the apostles on down, is going to be filled with that. But you men out there, you wicked guys, man, you're doing that to your people, but you're set up to do it. So yes, this gift is reduced to giving it to the elect. And then it says here, real quick, last part of it, it says from the French, faith, belief, and trust, and confidence. And diligence comes with that in regards to the gift of, in regards to spiritual gifts. Okay, but this is the first thing. Okay, so that's what you need to be begging for. The elect will be begging for it.
And one of the main ones is the belief, because a lot of you guys, the only thing that you're exposing is that you really and truly never believed. You guys are great actors, but you don't believe what you read, right? You don't believe what you hear. You don't even believe what you see, right? You more live in a delusional world. You're like a woman, right? You're like a woman. A lot of you guys are you're seeing what's going on in front of you, and you're in such disbelief of the truth that you'd rather live in delusion. Remember, a lot of Israelites like captivity, right? That was proven to us when we came out of Egypt, man. So a lot of you guys, you're not ready for the kingdom.
Oh my God, that's the spirit. Is it on that?
Yeah, that's it.
No, he had the scriptures now.
Yeah, I had one precept. I just wanted to bring it out. Hey, it's another receipt, Revelation 17:4, because it goes back to what you read there in regards to this filthy army and what it's associated to. So when you put it up,
I got you.
yeah, 17:4, right? Right? It links. Go ahead.
I got you. Revelation 17:4. And the woman was arrayed.
All right, so we know who that woman is. That's America. Hey, symbolically, we know it's a mystery, Babylon. Go ahead.
Yep. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
Everybody wants to come here. Even people who just want to come to rip the place off. And we spoke about those immigrants and what have you in regards to how they're set up. Okay, anyway, continue.
Yeah, which means that woman is attractive.
Yes.
Everything about her is attractive. The way she talks, the way she walks, everything about her. So that was America. The way America presented themselves, the lifestyle, the language, the mentality was all attractive to the world. And it says, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornications.
Yeah, because they said the streets were paved with gold, but that golden cup, that's how attractive whatever's coming out, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is on the outset of whatever that knowledge is: democracy, feminism, equal rights, liberty. It all looks good on the outside. Man and man, woman and all of that shit looks great when you hear it. It's just like, oh wow, that's what you guys have in your cup? Sounds better than what we have in our cup where I'm from.
Yeah.
That's right, and they want to drink it. They're not only, like you said, they look at it and they want to, they are drinking it.
And then when they drink it, what happens? They get drunk. They get fucking drunk
Yes.
and they can't stop. Now they're staggering left and right. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Beautiful. Simply put, right? So that links that she controls along with the UN, those armies, those UN armies. Because when you go into it, it gives you that link,
Yeah.
right? That's,
Yeah.
it's attractive. It's right in the beast. It's there in the beast. We know we got to go into the 13th chapter and also the 16th chapter.
Yeah.
16th chapter, 13th verse. It tells you who this woman rides, right? Which goes back to those nasty, detestable things that's coming. Yeah, the
Yeah.
nations,
It says that
UN.
she's the mother of all harlots,
Yeah.
which means when you look at all these other Rome, Greece, Babylon,
Yeah, the NATO and the EU.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Her being on top is just her being in control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
She did it better than all. She basically took all those other empires, consolidated their religions and everything
Yes.
else, and amplified it and did it better on this side.
Oh yeah.
You know, she's the mother of it all. So now I'm gonna go to Numbers 13 and 17. It's a good story about, those watchmen that went to go spy out the land. You know, and we're watchmen in the spirit, and we're spying out the land right now. You know, so this is Moses, and this is Numbers 13 and 17, and it reads. I'm gonna read it in NLT. Moses gave the men these instructions, as he sent them to explore the land, go north to through the Negev into the hill country, see what the land is like, and find out whether the people living there are strong or weak, few or many. See what, and we see right now that the majority of people here are weak in faith, weak in wisdom and understanding, spiritually put, and they're also few, which means the elect. There's only a few people that we understand that looking around us, only a few people are going to really get this message. It says 19, see what kind of land they live in. Is it good or bad? And this is a bad land. Do their towns have walls, or are they unprotected like open camps? And obviously it's unprotected because you see all these migrants coming in. Okay? But spiritually, the people of this land are unprotected. They don't have no covering. They have no understanding.
Yeah, but America is on wall as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called though,
Unwalled
because they
villages?
board. No, that's in the scriptures, but there's a name for it,
Okay.
right? Because they border us,
Right.
and that plot of land
Oh,
with
it's
that
straight
line,
true. It's straight
it's
true.
called- there's a name for it.
And they had certain stones at each spot.
Exactly,
Yeah,
which lets you know what side that you're on,
Yeah.
right? But it's unmanned,
Yeah.
and then there's only certain checkpoints
Right.
in certain areas, but it's too vast
Right.
to have men everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Kind. And it says, see what kind of land they live in. Is it good or bad? Do their towns have walls, or are they unprotected like open camps? Is the soil fertile or poor? And the majority, and now spiritually, Yahweh Shai used fertile in the soil of the land to the mind of an Israelite. Right? If their mind was fertile, he could plant a seed in there and things can grow. The majority of you Israelites, you don't have fertile soil in your mind. You have corrupt soil. So if this seed goes in, nothing's growing out of it. And you can see that with Israel. Right? Is the soil fertile or poor? The majority of Israelites' mind is poor. Are there many trees? Do your best to bring back samples of the crops you see. It happened to be the season of harvesting the first ripe grapes, and we are in the season of the harvest of the first fruits.
And the reaping is coming.
Con, brother. Con. So I'm gonna skip down. So when they came back from it says after, verse 25, after exploring the land for 40 days, and which we know 4 means mercy, but After 40 days, the men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the whole company of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to the whole community as when we do these.
Every week.
We report every week, every day.
Yeah, every
Thousands of reports are happening every day.
We're doing it right now.
We're doing it right now. Khan. They report to the whole community what they had seen and showed them the fruit that they had taken from the land. This was their report. You sent us to explore it, and it is as a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. And that's us telling you about the kingdom of heaven. When you look at the land we're in right now, and we compare it to what Yahushua told us what we're going to be in, yeah, the kingdom of heaven is where it's at. Okay?
Khan.
It says, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the kind of fruit it produces. But the people living there are powerful. Now, remember earlier I said the message of the righteous would be what? A message of faith and assurance, not of fear of doubt. Now, having the wrong understanding is evidently going to lead you to fear and doubt. Right? So it says, but the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. That's us looking at the enemy. We even saw giants there, descendants of Anak. The Amalekites live in the Negev. The Hittites, Jebusites, the Amorites live in the hill country.
And those are the enemies of Yahweh Hashem Shai. Those are the enemies of Israel.
Psalm 33.
Yeah.
And it's not a coincidence geographically when you look at the land of Israel. We're right in the middle. You got Egypt on the bottom, you got Assyria on the top,
Yeah.
and who do you got going to the west? You got Greek, and you got the Babylonians over to the east.
Far, yeah. Far.
So what do they say? We're in between a tight spot and a hard space. That's what they say in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord did it on purpose. When you go through the history of the kings, the majority of the kings relied on making alliances with the heathen instead of relying on the Lord. And that's what you see Israel doing. We're in the midst of our enemies. And we're in the midst of our enemies on purpose. Okay, because the Lord is going to snuff out who doesn't really believe in him and who really believes in him. Are you going to make alliances with the enemy? Which today, that alliance evidently is going to lead to you receiving Esau, Edom's seed in you, which is the MOTB. And you're calling him your husband. You're calling him your master, your Lord. And that's what these leaders are setting the majority of Israel up to do. Okay, so it says, so they went up and explored the land from the wilderness of Zin. Oh no, Slack it.
29.
29 for water. The Amalekites live in the Negev, and the Hittites, Jebusites, and the Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and along the Jordan Valley. So they're basically scaring, Israel. Like, yo, we can't do this. We can't get into the kingdom. Let's stay where we are, which is the wilderness. This is the wilderness.
And you can't even go next to Mount Sinai. Like if you went over that place, okay, the land, so to speak, and you visit, you can't even go up in there. You can't even, it's all barred off.
Come on, it's verse 30. It says, but Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once and take the land. He said, we can certainly conquer it. And that's the message the true prophets are giving you, that we're going to endure all this.
Yeah.
We're going to get through. Even if we die, that's still us conquering.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
That's you making sure that you don't trust in man. Because even without me, without any one of these brothers, you know that this is going to happen. Don't look at me like, let's say a brother who you look up to, you no longer see. Guess what?
Right.
The truth still continues without that person.
That's right.
The person who you needed to see make it already made it. He's sitting on the right hand of the Lord right now. What are you worrying about me for?
Come on.
Praise Yahushua.
That's right.
He already made it.
That's right. It says, but the other men who had explored the land with him disagreed. We cannot go up against them. They are stronger than we are. So they spread this bad report about the land about the kingdom.
Hey, that's why sports is always a good analogy to do life, because you might have a person like Mike Tyson, or you might have 3-time NBA champions, and then they're facing rookies, or they're facing beginners.
Right.
Well, guess what? That rookie team can beat them, man. You have David versus Goliath. That's life, man. You never look at your opponent, you look at yourself, man. What do you have within you? You look at your forefather, right? Our forefather wrestled an angel. He didn't look at him and be like, yo, oh my gosh. He looked at him like, nah, bless me, yo. So do you want the glory? Do you want the gift?
Yeah.
Right? Do you want the kingdom?
That's right.
I don't think
the kingdom.
Right? You have to want it, man. You have to just want it.
You know, that's heavy because, like, with what we're reading right now, as it says, so they spread this bad report among the land, among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw were huge. We even saw the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers. So that's what they thought too. Now, funny enough, you know, IUIC 6 months ago, they came out with that doctrine that after we rule for 1,000 years, Esau, you know, is going to come back into power and take us down, and we're going to go back to this back and forth friendship bullshit. Now, when you go, Elder Yeshua did a lesson, and when you go into the website of, what's it called, Jehovah Witness, they have the same doctrine.
Yeah.
That's a bad report. You tell me when we're in the land, in the kingdom of heaven, we're still going to get taken over by our enemies? That's the same spirit that these Israelites were
Going
in.
around in circles.
Bro, they were in the same spirit. They're telling us that when we get in the land, that we're still going to get taken over by our enemies.
Yeah.
IUIC is saying when we get in the kingdom of heaven, we're still going to get taken over by our enemies. It's the same.
No,
It's the same
we're gonna have
thing.
spiritual powers in that time, man.
Come on, man. That's a bad report.
That's
And it's a report by an Edomite. His name is Charles Russell.
Right.
He created that religion.
I got something to back you
So
up.
if that's who you're basing your report off of, then you're gonna end up in destruction. Because guess what? The Edomites are gonna be destroyed.
I got a quick precept.
Yeah.
What this brother's bringing up. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1. It says, when the Lord thy power, Yahweh Bashem Oshai, shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hast cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgasites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy power, Yahweh Bashem Oshai, shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Brother, that ultimate covenant is taking the MOTB. We have to keep repeating that to you Israelites, because sheep are easily led astray. You know, that covenant, when you, listen, if you take that MOTB, man, you're calling this man your husband. You're calling him your God. A man over a living power. You're calling him your God. Go ahead, brother.
It says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto thy son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Well, that was a problem.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
From early when it just
Yeah.
Yeah, because those men, actually, in that time, they're huge. They're still huge today.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
yeah,
They're If you research or you Google, you can Google the Nilotic tribes, right? When you Google the Nilotic tribes, you're gonna see how dark and how tall they are,
Yeah.
right? Very dark and very, very tall,
Yeah.
right? They're the men that used to even rule Egypt, not the people who rule Egypt today. People who rule Egypt today are not the true people of that land.
Khan.
They look like Manute Bol.
Yeah, New Bull, yeah, Khan.
That's right. Hey, but that thing that I just want to say, just to add, because that doctrine, that nasty thing, I've been hearing about that for over 30 years. Because Adventism and all those other isms that come out of that, that come out of the unclean spirits, okay, you believe and teach that, right? Shame on all of you Seventh-day Adventist Church of God, all these people. They all believe the same thing. And that guy that's bringing that false report, I'm going to call your name out. It's Nathan. That's you and your people over there. The Lord is going to sift that house, man, right? Because the elect is inside there, but He just set you up to do that thing.
And the joke is, the majority of those men that created those isms that he's talking about, 7-day, Jehovah's Witness, the majority of those men were all 33-degree Masons. Just like you, Nate. Just like you, they're your brothers. We're not your brothers. Your brothers are 33-degree Masons, man.
That's true.
He was a cop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you became a cop, yeah.
You can't get in there.
So, this is Numbers 14. Now, going into how that affected the community, right? It says the whole community began weeping out loud, and they cried all night. Their voices rose in the great churros of protest against Moses and Aaron. If only we had died in Egypt, or even here in the wilderness, they complained. Now, this is just like how the prophets were going to be demonized by our own people.
Yeah.
Because Esau's going to come down having great wrath, knowing that he has a short time to come down, he's going to have great wrath. And he's going to come against the prophets, and he's going to say, this is all happened because of prophets, and they're going to demonize us, and you're going to have Jake forwarding it. They did it to Yahushua. They did it to Yahushua. They said, give us Bar Rabbis. Forget Yahushua, because Yahushua was what? He was challenging their life, their lifestyle, their way of living in the world. When he was trying to forward them and teach them that, there's a kingdom of heaven that's set up for you. This is not it.
And it's the worst thing you could do, because, we have plants right here. One of the worst things you could do for a plant, because remember, plants are living organisms, is uproot them. But they don't know that if they stay in that small pot, they're about to die. But if I uproot you and put you in a larger pot, you're going to flourish, man. Right? But Jake, they like the little pot that they're living in, man.
God. Verse 3 says, why is the Lord Yahweh taking us to this country, only to have us die in battle?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Because it's the same thing that Job said, right? Job complained, but Job never lost his faith. He never lost his integrity.
Right.
So it's how are you complaining? You people are complaining in a way where you're actually trying to bring the truth down.
Wow.
You're trying to bring us down.
Right.
We're going backwards. Like for us to be talking about Esau, still, you're bringing us down. Man. We've already passed that.
Beautiful point. Beautiful point. Hey, that receipt is already there. But you still go against it, man.
Exactly.
I have a quick precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just bring this out, right? Because those people that were complaining amongst us, this is real quick, Numbers 11 and 4.
And I'm sorry to keep bringing it up.
Bring it up.
But women do that, man.
Bring it up,
Don't you know that's how a lot of men die?
Beautiful.
A lot of men die because women never stop fucking complaining, man. That can kill you as a man. To not have somebody believe in you, believe in your dreams. Right?
Hey, Samson, when he was dealing with Delilah,
Exactly.
said he was vexed unto death.
Vexed and haunted.
The man thought in his mind, like, yo, Lord, just take me. That's how much he was. He's like, yo, Lord, just take me.
Hey, that's why that movie with Will Smith, Pursuit of Happiness, is one of my favorites because, that man went through hell, man.
Yeah, man.
That woman nagged the shit out of him.
A man posted in the group chat that living with a black woman at the house, you can never be satisfied with a black woman in the house.
I'm
And
telling
they're
you.
always fighting and arguing
Oh
to the
gosh.
end, to the
Oh
end of it.
gosh.
It's like,
Yeah.
why don't you just be like the heathen, basically, like a
Yeah,
white woman?
yeah.
What, just take fuck, clean up the house,
No, yeah,
and
right.
do what she's supposed to do. With all,
Yeah, give it out
with all
raw.
he's saying, the black woman now, everything to make her happy is the money. She wants the money, and then she'll do whatever.
But you know what makes her so
What's
vexed?
crazy?
Is that she doesn't know what she wants and she still wants to usurp authority.
Well, she's
You're
gonna
confused and you still want to usurp authority. That's why our forefathers said,
manipulation.
I'd rather live on the housetop than dwell in a house with a woman.
Yeah,
It's like
she's
dwelling in a house with a
crazy.
dragon.
Yeah,
You know what kind
that's-
of beast a dragon
that's-
is?
That's serious.
Yo, a dragon is
Yeah, that's
when you
bad.
go into the word dragon, you get the word king.
Yeah.
That means you could be 1,000 feet in the air. You see what's going on
Yeah.
right to the minor, you know,
Mhm.
nanoparticle type of thing. That woman sees everything is calculated. That shit is constant warfare. He even talks about how
like this.
a woman that constantly is yapping her mouth, roughly paraphrasing, is like an old man walking up a sandy hill.
Damn.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Damn.
Come on, man.
Yo,
It's rough.
hey, and the scriptures tell us for a reason, she that is my enemy shall see it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you did a beautiful lesson on that.
Yeah, she is.
It's so funny, the brothers are talking about something. I'm gonna do another lesson on it. I went into it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
go if that's a spirit that you brought up, but I'm gonna do a lesson on. I'm gonna the brothers are just putting more ideas in my brain. It's gonna be deep, man.
Because they're laughing at the whole Japan thing.
Exactly.
I was watching it, and it's true, they're laughing at it because you made a good point. It's like they're laughing because why would you pick the lowest man on the earth?
Yeah.
They think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scumbag.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
everything,
it's scumbag.
everything, you know,
That's exactly what we are
it's an occult, and when you go in the word occult, it means hidden. We're here in plain sight, but we're hidden to you because you don't actually understand the value of the Israelite man, starting with the prophets.
That's
Who you have. He's yours.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
disregarded it.
messing it up. Yeah, you're fucking.
You disregarded what's yours.
Wow.
You disregard what
Yeah.
other people
Right.
are paying $75,000 for.
$1,000, almost $100,000.
Yeah.
And
Starters.
you look at him and say, pay you, nigga?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're wicked, man.
But this brother said it tied it in with that what they're hey, that's what you're supposed to do, but you don't want the principle of the truth
Yeah.
because of that lustful spirit. I'm gonna bring it out real
Yeah.
quick. The attitude, because it is a spirit.
That's right.
And hey, it's a worse spirit that could be upon a man is to act like a woman. And you mix multitude, and that's what we're going into. So it says this, Numbers
Is that a word?
Yeah.
I got it.
Numbers 11:4. Numbers 11:4. We're gonna get there in a second.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Numbers 11:4. So it says, right? I'm just gonna. It ties into what we were going into, but
Yeah.
they've been going crazy before. There's a spirit on them. It says, and the mixed multitude that was among them felt a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again, and said, "Who shall give us flesh to eat?" Right. So that's it's a spirit, right? And that effeminate spirit. That's what it goes into, because there's been a complaining. The mixed multitude is complaining,
Right.
and also the children of Israel is complaining.
Right,
Never said
right.
it. Never said anything about the election complaining. But they were complaining, but not about this. They wanted to get out.
See here.
They wanted to get out of Egypt ultimately, right? And that is being rehearsed right now. So, but that's the point, though. All right, just wanted to emphasize the lusting. Right, it goes back to that effeminate spirit.
Right. And effeminate means to be without faith.
Simply
So
so.
that's why they're talking shit like that. So what else are we gonna eat next? Like you just been fed by heavenly bread. Now you're asking what's next.
Right.
Yo.
But that's the point. You people can read that chapter again because it goes into detail and it tells you specifically who was murmuring and complaining, and they had the Lord put a spirit on them to expose them. Right, starting with you wicked leaders, or mixed multitude leaders, amongst Israel, and you effeminate leaders as well.
Yeah.
These false doctrines. Anyway, that's the point.
Khan. So I'm gonna go back to Numbers 14:3. So it says, this is, we're talking about Israel complaining, right? You just brought it out. So it says Numbers 14:3. Why is the Lord Yahweh taking us to this country only to have us die in the battle? Because we're in the battle, and the truth is some of us are gonna die. We're telling you, we're not giving giving you smooth words.
That's right.
We're telling you the truth. Listen, this is gonna be tough. It's gonna be challenging, but if you maintain your faith, you're gonna get through. Right? So it says, take us to the country only to have us die in battle. Our wives, our little ones, all little ones will be carried off as plunder.
Now, we told you brothers that from the get-go. There's no brother that joined this, and that's how you know IUIC is going off, because you guys are creating a family unit within your organization, but that's not really a part of the truth, because the majority of those people in the organization are going to die. That's what we told the brothers here in GMS, right? Your mother, I'm not saying the Lord can't have mercy on your wife, your children,
Right.
your concubines, if you have.
Right.
I'm not saying he can't have mercy on your dad, your mother, your brother, your sister, but if the Lord said no, then it's no.
That's it.
It's no.
That's it.
So all those people in IUIC who you guys are getting attached to, they might be dead,
Khan.
right? They might die.
And your leaders told you to go and register your name into an Israelite name. Bandis.
Con.
So you're now you're out there. You're a target.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You're a target now.
Easy target. Yeah, man.
What verse here?
Verse 3. In the end of 3.
Which really,
Oh yeah.
you're allowing the enemy to number you like a census, man. That's terrible, man.
Wow. It says plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt? And that's why you see Israelites that can't see the kingdom. They're trying to make something happen here
100%.
because they want to return here,
Yeah.
even though they have the truth. The Sakari was on Alizé, he was on that interview talking about, and Apostle Round did a beautiful lesson on, you cannot serve two masters. You can't be talking about gangs, you're affiliated with gangs, and you have this truth. So you're still trying to live in Egypt. You don't see the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
So it says, then they plotted among themselves, let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt.
Yeah, I forgot what TV show I just watched. Great TV show.
Game of Thrones.
No. It was with England, and they had to go on a journey in a boat, and then this friggin' alternative lifestyle guy, I forgot his name. He, because they went to Alaska or somewhere, and they got stuck in the winter, and they were waiting for the spring to come so they can start moving again because they were stuck.
Right.
So then they started murmuring, and then they had a coup against the captain and all.
Shit.
So that murmuring draws people away, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to draw men away onto their side, man. And you always notice that, man. You're
Yeah,
always trying to
that's
draw
true.
away people.
True. Wow, that's true. And then, that's a good point because they drew away Aaron when Moses went up.
That's of course they
And
did.
he ended up building a whole calf.
Yeah.
Wow.
A whole golden calf, like huge too. It wasn't no small thing. It was a huge thing. Wow. So it says.
Which was idolatry. Straight up.
Exactly. Straight up.
Wow.
Straight up adultery.
They cast all their gold
Yeah.
to make the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of casting your riches for the kingdom of heaven, you cast your riches just to stay in Babylon.
But that's how you know they think that that's where their wealth came from, right? That was the sacrifice, because they wanted blessings, right? So they thought they were going to get the blessing from the golden calf, because that's how you know the majority of Israel were worshiping the horn deity,
Right.
because that calf is a horn deity. That's what they were worshiping in Egypt, man. That was one of the #1 gods in Egypt, that horn god.
Wow. Damn, man.
So they thought they were going to get blessings from it, man.
Wow. Lord bless you with a little bit of money, let's just say this, and then you, in your lustful way, you go and blow it. when the Lord tell you, right? Hey, no, don't put the money there. But you're still going to do it. It's almost, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you lost the
Yeah. Every time I come into a lump sum of money, I'm thinking about two things, Sean. I'm thinking about the brothers when we meet up, and I'm thinking about what's coming down the pipe. Because the most time I bless you with a lump sum of money, you gotta share it among the brothers, however you share it. And then two, what if your car breaks out? That's why you got blessed with a lump sum of money. And you spend it, your car breaks out, and then you got no money. You complain, the Lord's like, I gave you $5,000. What are you talking about? You know, so you're on point with that because that's a very poor mentality. You're lacking. You're lacking. Wow.
Spirit, that's the spirit.
Wow. So verse 4 it says, then they plotted among themselves. And you know, we get on you leaders, but you sheep, you fucking sheep.
Yep.
You
You make it so easy.
You know what I
You
mean?
make it so easy, man. I understand why a person wants to become a pastor, become a this, because you people make it so easy.
Yes.
You make it too easy, man.
Yes.
All I gotta do is put on a little suit. All I gotta do is drive a nice little car.
That's right.
And now you're doing whatever I tell you to do.
That's right.
Make it too easy, man.
Way too easy, man.
Yeah.
They said they plotted among themselves, let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt.
You're absurd. You're absurd.
After what they just witnessed.
Bro, you went through seeing a whole sea divided. You're walking on the sea,
Wow.
the seabed.
Forget a seabed, you're probably seeing the
fishes
on the side of you. Fishes are looking at you. Fishes are wondering why they
What the
can't go
heck?
through. You're like, what the heck? Ew.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Divine intervention.
Wow.
Yo, your shoes never came off, like never rusted off your feet were never sore, your clothes never rotten off.
You had something to protect you in the hot sun,
Oh my goodness.
which was the chariot. So you saw a chariot in those days.
Oh my goodness.
You didn't even know what a chariot was.
exactly.
You didn't even know how to describe it, man.
right.
The heck? You're looking
Oh,
at
man.
freaking technology that's not even in 2024.
Con,
Jeez.
man. Wow.
Hey, but to the elect, man, that's substance. And just like the truth's coming out and how the elect are receiving it, they appreciate this.
Yes.
And it goes back to that substance, that faith, that lines up everything.
Which
man.
is spiritual, yeah. That's spiritual because Caleb, the two witnesses you read about in Revelation, and Caleb and Joshua represent what? Judah and Ephraim. One's from Ephraim, one's from Judah. That's the elect. Those two witnesses would have the correct report for the kingdom, as to, the kingdom of heaven is here for the elect that would listen to that report. So that was all, spiritual. It says, verse 5, then Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground before the whole community of Israel. Two of the men who had explored the land, Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb.
And that's why this time the Lord is going to kill the 2/3. He's not going to play with them no more.
That's right.
There's not going to be no more murmuring, no more. You're just going to die.
That's right. Straight.
See you later.
That's right. And Caleb, son of Jephunneh, tore his clothing. They said to all the people of Israel, the land we traveled through and explored is a wonderful land. And if the Lord Yahweh is pleased with us, he will bring us safely. That's the
Yeah,
same message.
but none of that matters because you have to understand. You're talking to some of those Israelites that were doing good in Egypt.
Yeah, that's
They were doing well.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
They were sellouts. Some of them shouldn't even have been there
Yeah.
because they were a bunch of sellouts.
Yeah.
They were a bunch of weirdos.
They're not going to give up that golden calf. No way.
Which shows you, that's a good point, because that shows you, as we get closer to Jacob's trouble, you're going to make adjustments. And those adjustments are going to be sacrifices, as we know. But a lot of these Israelites that have been living a nice life now, they can't sacrifice that stuff. So they're gonna give themselves up to the MOTB.
Easy.
Look what the two Israelites did. They snitched on Moses, man.
Yeah, Khan. Yeah.
Can I bring this up?
Yeah, go ahead.
This
Go
is
ahead.
Deuteronomy 13 and 11 in the NLT. And it says, Then all Israel will hear about it and be afraid, and no one will act so wickedly again. When you begin living in the towns the Lord your power is giving you, you may hear that scoundrels among you are leading their fellow citizens astray by saying, Let us go worship other gods, gods you have not known before. In such cases, you must examine the facts carefully. If you find that the report is true and such a detestable act has been committed among you, you must attack that town and completely destroy all its inhabitants, as well as all the livestock.
Wow.
No mercy.
Hey,
And
you know
then
what?
it's like in the
Go
King
ahead.
James, when it says scoundrel, in the King James it says sons of Belial, or children of Belial.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly, man.
Yo, and that's why we gotta be, obviously we gotta be watchmen about different doctrines coming up in the camp.
Yeah, that's another man.
You know what I mean? It's the same
Wicked
thing.
man.
Like you're bringing up a different doctrine, and basically what the elders reading, like would you read again a little bit?
Deuteronomy 13 and 11.
Yeah. Did you read that again one more time?
Khan, yeah,
From the
yeah.
top.
Yeah, from the top. Yeah,
Sounds
that's
good.
Oh, brother, do you have the receipt for that? Oh, you're reading the receipt.
Yeah, Khan.
Inside
Sure,
joke.
okay.
Deuteronomy 13 and 11. Hold on.
Yeah.
13 and 11, it says, Then all Israel will hear about it and be afraid, and no one will act so wickedly again.
Yeah.
When you begin to live, it's like when you begin living in the towns the Lord your power is giving you, you may hear that scoundrels among you are leading their fellow citizens astray
Right.
by saying, Let us go worship other gods, gods you have not known.
Right.
In such cases, you must examine the facts carefully. If
because it's the same thing we were talking about. They're trying to bring you back.
Right.
Why are you bringing us backwards?
You gotta go forward.
Forwards,
Right?
Yeah.
Look where we made it.
That's right.
We've been cleaned. The Lord is cleaning us up,
Right.
and then you want us to go backwards?
Right.
That means you're off, man.
Right. Right.
Why are you bringing us backwards?
And that's the thing too. Like a different God doesn't always have to come in the form of worshiping a different name. It can come in the form of a different doctrine,
yeah, different philosophy.
different philosophy. It's the same thing. You know?
Mhm. Well, that's the number one thing that Masons do. If you take in the Mason credo, it says that a Mason can worship at any temple.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
A
matter.
Mason can be an atheist. He can be a Buddhist. A Mason can be a Christian. That's why you have high-level Masons in all these different organizations.
Remember, they're like spies of
So
the
That's
government.
exactly what they are.
Polytheism.
Yeah.
Polytheism.
Yeah.
It's not really polytheism. They can just intertwine because
Everything.
the Mason can
They
make
report.
that religion or whatever belief into his own. He can fake it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's the spirit, brother. Go
but
ahead.
still
You
give
don't have to.
his God
Reverence.
the reverence. Because
Yeah.
remember, at the end of the day, the Mason has to assimilate to whatever community he's in. You have Masons that are in Saudi Arabia telling you, Muhammad this, Muhammad that, and there's certain things that they don't do. Like in Jamaica, you have Masons in Jamaica that they burn out alternative lifestyles, but they practice alternative lifestyle, but they'll say it with their mouth, right? They only say it, and then they go and do what they do behind closed doors, right? Just like the people of Israel in Ezekiel. These are men that were practicing our faith outwardly, but then behind closed doors, they were doing something else. That's what a Mason can do.
So it says, in such cases, you must examine the facts carefully. If you find that the report is true and such a detestable act has been committed among you, you must attack that town and completely destroy all its inhabitants, as well as all the livestock. Then you must pile all the plunder in the middle of the open square and burn it. Burn the entire town as a burnt offering to the Lord your power.
That's right.
That town must remain a ruin forever. It may never be rebuilt.
That's America.
That's it. That's America.
It says, keep none of the plunder that has been set apart for the destruction.
Hey, and Barakatah Yahweh Shai for destroying the 2/3, whoever they are. Whoever they are. They can't come along for the ride.
They can't.
No.
You missed the bus like the other
Yeah,
said.
come.
Yeah.
It says, keep none of the plunder that has been set apart for destruction. Then the Lord will turn from his fierce anger and be merciful to you. Because the Lord's pissed at that shit, right? Even though you didn't do it, he just pissed in general.
That's right, man.
It says he will have compassion on you and make you a large nation, just as he swore to your ancestors.
Yo, could you imagine a 2/3 in a new body?
Yeah.
You can't give a 2/3 all that power. Because he ain't right.
He ain't right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Worse than Darkseid.
He's gonna be an extraterrestrial demon. He's gonna be Darth Vader. That's Darth Vader right there.
Or maybe Darth Vader's boss, the guy Palpatine.
Oh, yeah.
Palpatine.
Where's it got precepts? Before I go back?
No, go ahead.
Okay, Khan. So Numbers 14 and 8. So it says, and if the Lord Yahweh is pleased with us, he will bring us safely into the land and give it to us. It is a rich land flowing with milk and honey. Do not rebel against the Lord Yahweh, and do not be afraid.
Hey, but that's what we're teaching. We're really teaching thy kingdom come.
That's right.
Thy will be done. Right? So anybody that's trying to bring us anywhere else that's not leading to the kingdom, then what are you teaching us right now? The reason why we're telling you people not to take the MOTB, the reason why we told you not to take the jump shot is because this is the best way for you to get to the kingdom. Now, yes, the kingdom is a thawa, so you are going to need the mark, a holy mark of exemption, but these are the steps that righteous men would take to get into the kingdom as well.
That's right.
Amen.
Go ahead, brother.
Just because we're prophets
Yeah.
bringing out the good news and
Exactly.
the downfall of
That's right.
this kingdom and this world.
Prophecy.
And I'm just gonna do something quick. This is Deuteronomy 18, verse 18. Actually, I'm gonna start at 17. It says, and the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth. And he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto the words which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that should speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thy heart,
And that's a good word, presumptuous,
Yeah.
right? And people who are proud speak very presumptuously because it's like they're thinking for the Heavenly Father, but he said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, man. So you're very presumptuous to think that, oh, the Lord is gonna keep us here. Oh, he told us, oh, build a family here.
Yeah.
Dude, no, he never told us to do none of that, man.
That's right.
That's presumptuous for you to think like that.
That's right.
Well, I have the word real quick if you want me to get it.
Yeah,
It's
bring
a
it up.
powerful word.
Yeah, of course.
Presumption. It says seizure and occupation without right. Also, taking upon oneself more good sense and propriety warrant. Okay, so in other words, it goes into explaining taking up more.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly, yeah.
You're running ahead.
Yeah.
It's basically running ahead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Lord told you to get one apple. You're like, you know what? Let me just get two just in case. Nah, he only told you one.
That's it.
You know, and you know when you go to presumptuous, it comes from the word presume.
Hey, just like,
it's presumed.
hey, just like the scripture where where the guy is just like, oh, because you were an austere power, I hid,
I
he hid the talent.
He thought he was being smart.
Yeah, he thought, yeah.
He's like,
He
you
thought
know, I
trying to
used to still
outsell
have
them.
one talent.
Yeah,
No, obedience is key.
Exactly.
In Jacob's trouble, man.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
like you bringing up presumptuous, it comes from the word presume,
That's
where it
right.
says to take upon oneself, to take liberty, also to take for granted. So believe or accept upon probable evidence,
pre-prose. So the main point is to take upon oneself, to take liberty,
Exactly.
and to take for granted. So a lot of these teachers, you're really teaching out of your own belly.
Yeah.
The Lord didn't give you the
commandments,
understanding
yeah.
of the scriptures,
That's right.
and you're prideful about it, and so you're gonna just keep teaching anyways.
Well, you know, it's okay to eat swine's flesh, all the.
Instead of just accepting that, you know what, I actually don't know what the hell this is talking about. I need to acquire the prophets.
That's right.
That's right.
It says, verse 21, and if thou say in thy heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord, Yahweh Hashem El Shai, has not spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, Yahweh
point.
Hashem El Shai,
Good point.
if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord, Yahweh Hashem El Shai, has not spoken.
Yeah,
Hey, and
well,
that's
yeah.
hold on. That's
Yeah.
why Jeremiah 28:8 is so important,
Right.
because it's letting you know what the prophets did. So since you prophets are prophesying some great building, no,
Right.
we prophesied against.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you guys don't even fit the job, thank you, the criteria of a prophet, man.
Right.
The heck? We don't even have to wait for anything to come to pass yet, because you don't even fit the criteria.
That's right.
Because you're prophesying for.
That's right.
There's a new system that's coming in, and you weren't even prepared for the new system. It's called the MOTB.
That's right.
We told you people about the MOTB before the system came to pass.
That's right. That's right.
And now it's here.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It says,
here.
but the prophet,
And they made fun of us.
That's right.
They clowned us
That's
that's right.
about the system. We got
Cash.
locked.
How's cash gonna be out?
Cash is king.
Cash is king. What are you guys talking about? You guys are crazy.
Oh, that's only for dogs.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
that's-
It's June.
Yeah,
Hey, right? It's June. And where's the MOTB? Right? Come on, man.
clowned us, man.
Yeah, they've been, because the elders pushed it out since 2013 with the small microchip in your right hand. The brain chip didn't come yet. Now the brain chip is here.
That's right.
Bro, they had the Vera chip from 2005,
Remember?
2006.
That was a good
Yeah.
lesson that you did on that, man. Long time.
Yeah, that was
Vera chip.
from MasterCard and Visa.
They had Club Baja in Spain.
Yeah.
You can only enter.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fat Joe showed me
Fat
that.
Joe
Showed me
leaned
that
back.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says,
They had it in The Simpsons
Yeah.
with the little baby.
Yeah, come on.
Yep, yeah. You idiots.
For you
it
idiots.
says, when a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem El Shai,
Oh.
if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord Yahweh Hashem El Shai has not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously.
Exactly.
Thou shalt not be afraid of him.
Wow.
Come on.
So that lets you know that you should be afraid of the prophets, but you people don't fear the prophets, and that's okay. That's to your own detriment.
That's right.
That's letting you know you should fear the prophets.
That's right.
You should fear the men
That's right.
who are giving you the truth.
That's
And
right.
that's another thing that a lot of you guys are doing that's going to get you killed. You never feared the men of the Lord.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
another thing that's going to get you killed.
That's right.
Didn't the scriptures say that that's why our thing is known as great millstone?
Yeah.
They'd rather you hung a millstone around your friggin' neck
And offend the little ones.
that just offend them, whoever those righteous men are,
That's right.
than just to offend them.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, that was it?
Yeah, it was.
I had a quick one. This is Numbers 15 and 29. And it says, Ye shall have one law for him that sinneth through ignorance, both for him that is born among the children of Israel, and
Which
for
is in Ezekiel as well. Ezekiel tells you about,
Yeah.
the ignorant.
Yeah.
Exactly, so it's true.
Yeah.
It says, both for him that is born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them. But the soul that doeth aught presumptuously, whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproacheth the Lord Yahweh.
Because this is a person that knows the truth,
Truth, beautiful.
and they're twisting it to fit themselves.
Good point.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, even the strangers, they knew, right? But they just didn't live there. They would live in other lands.
Yeah.
They would have to come for Passover, different things like that.
That's true too.
Right?
Yeah.
It says
Real quick, the word ignorant there goes into stubbornness, which goes back to witchcraft. Right? So they're both serious crimes, but this one is greater that was mentioned, but the person's a witch. You could be dealing with a witch. He has a witch spirit on him, right? So it's dangerous, but the Lord have mercy right there and showing the distinction between the two. But it's a witch
But
being
there's a,
ignorant.
remember, there's a sacrifice. I'm going to read verse 28.
Beautiful.
It's not, remember, you can't sin through ignorance. It doesn't mean necessarily what you just said, because verse 28
No,
says,
I mean, they're acting like a witch. That's what I'm
so
saying.
check this out. And the priest shall make an atonement for the soul that sinneth ignorantly. When he sinneth by ignorance before the Lord Yahweh, to make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him.
Which is lack of knowledge there.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So
Come,
willful
yeah.
ignorance.
Yeah, of course. Well,
Yeah.
ignorance.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not playing.
Yeah,
If you're playing, you're presumptuous.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You're trying to act like you're ignorant.
Wow.
Which is why it's so important for us to push that word now, so that they don't have a cloak for their
That's
sins.
right.
That's
That's
right.
right. That's
Right. So verse 30 it says, "But the soul that doeth aught presumptuously, whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproacheth the Lord Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he had despised the word of the Lord Yahweh, and hath broken his commandment. That soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him," which that means reincarnation.
You're right.
He's gonna come back and he's gonna pay for that shit a lot of times. And in the NLT, in verse 30 for presumptuous, right, it says, "But those who brazenly violate the Lord's will, whether native born Israelites or foreigners, have blasphemed the Lord Yahweh, and they must be cut off from the community."
I gotta get this
Yeah.
when you're finished.
And yeah, last verse it says, "Since they have treated the Lord's word with contempt and deliberately disobeyed his commandment, they must be completely cut off and suffer the punishment for their guilt."
Wow.
That was it.
This is Revelation 22, verse 18. "For I testify unto you, unto every man, that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. He which testified these things saith, Surely I come quickly. Amen."
This is Ezekiel 20 and 33, and this is what's coming with what the brothers are talking about, the
Yeah.
2/3.
Yeah,
You know, even after the destruction, you're going to have 2/3 that you're going to have to cut off,
yeah,
because the elect are going to have to go
Right.
around the planet,
yeah,
and they're going to have to eat, they're going to have to bow down
yeah.
to the Lord, or they're going to have to get put up.
That's right. That's right.
So this is Ezekiel 20 and 33. "As I live, saith the Lord power, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you up from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead you face to face." And that's when the elect are going to see Yahushua's body
Yeah,
when he was crucified,
Fine,
which is
fine.
in Zechariah.
right.
So it says, verse 36, "Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, said the Lord power. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant," the new covenant. "And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh." Right?
This is Luke 19 and 27, and it says, "But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them,
Right.
bring hither and slay them before me."
Straight, man.
Like that dream.
Yeah, I never forget that dream, bro. That's crazy. I got the definition for contempt real quick. In etymology, it says open disregard or disobedience.
Contempt?
Yeah, contempt. And in etymology, open disregard or disobedience of authority, the law. General sense of act of despising, scorn for what is mean. And what's mean is what's like good for you. You know, and that's this truth.
Now the Most High has it set up where you see the prophets all the time. You always see the prophets, starting with apostles and those on down. And you know, like the old saying goes that we're talking about, familiarity breeds contempt. So because you're so familiar with seeing the prophets, you're contempt. You have that contempt, like, you know, I can openly disregard these guys. I've been seeing them for 20 years talking about the same thing. But that's you setting yourself up for that judgment. That's you sheep and you leaders setting yourself up for that judgment, man. Now, the brother, you know, Pillars of Benjamin, you know, Shamar was coming with the precepts. I'm going to get 3 of his precepts. This is Ezekiel.
You got contempt from Edom Online?
Edom Online, yeah.
Okay.
This is, sure. Well, let me start actually from GMS as it's written. Kavarga. Shalom to the Akims and the Common.
Hey, shalom, brother. Shalom.
Khan. So this is Jeremiah 18 and 20 from GMS as it's written. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them and to turn away thy wrath for them. That's right, and that's exactly what the prophets are doing, right? But the wrath, the Lord's wrath is only going to fall upon 2/3 and the wicked. Okay, it says this is Pillars of Benjamin, Ezekiel 13 and 6. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, "The Lord Yahweh saith," and the Lord Yahweh hath not sent them, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. Right, so all this notoriety and honor and fame that these false prophets are getting is really the Lord is setting them up, because it's just building is building up their ego on the left hand side. When you're really going off, just because the scriptures say, though the blind lead the blind, they shall both fall in the ditch. Okay, so it goes here, Ezekiel 13 and 7. Have ye not seen a vain vision? And have ye not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, the Lord saith it, albeit I have not spoken. 1 Samuel 6 and 14. And Samuel did that which the Lord Yahweh spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming. Oh, this is basically what you said, and said, "Comest thou peacefully?" You know what I mean? So,
I used to love that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
You got some water?
Yeah.
You got some grapes?
And you know, back then, like, you'd open up your house to an Israelite, so could you imagine they're fighting over, no, right here, sit here, I have an extra room.
I got an open right now. Oh, man. So I'm going to go back to Numbers 14, the brothers don't mind anything. Oh, come on, go ahead.
And now they spit at us. It's so funny that it's actually heathens that offer us the most. It's not even our own people. You have heathens that come and ask us, "Hey guys, you want coffee? Hey, you want water? You want it?" Even that demon, that Edomite woman, she still offered chips. And if she did it righteously, she could be forgiven for that, man. You know what I mean? Our people ain't doing it.
Have you heard about the small hatters? They
Which
welcome
they
their own.
Like,
There's any of their own. They welcome things like you can go to a small hatter. Like if you're a small hatter, they will welcome you among themselves. Like
Of course.
they're treating them their own community. They don't have treasury towards their own. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't do that towards their own. That's what they say, right? And because I met one and it says they're all peace with each other. Like they have like, it's not like a law, but they set themselves where they're not like us, you know, like how we fight against each other. We won't help each other, but them no, they said they keep everything in between themselves. And then everybody outside of them, their temple or their shit, they give everybody the bullshit.
True. Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy 17 and 8 and 12. It says, "And the man that will do so presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord Yahweh thy power, or unto the judge, even that man shall die.
That's right.
And thou shalt put away evil from Israel. And all the people shall hear and fear and do no more presumptuously. Right? And in the NLT it says, anyone arrogant enough to reject the verdict of the judge or of the priest who represents the Lord your power must die. And we're priests right now.
Yeah.
In this way you will purge the evil from Israel, then everyone else will hear about it and be afraid to act so arrogantly. And this word presumptuously in the Hebrew, right, is zadwan, which means pride, insolence, arrogance, presumptuous, right? And then in the root, which is
You see how that word keeps coming up today?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful word today. That's the word of the day.
That's right. That's right.
It's a word. The root is zawad, which means to boil, boil up, seethe, act proudly, act presumptuously, act rebelliously, be arrogant, be rebelliously proud.
Hey, and that bubbling up is because that's been in you.
Yes.
You were waiting for the right time to
Yeah.
strike
That's right.
like a
That's
serpent.
Exactly. You didn't purge out the old leaven.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. That starts at home too.
Oh, that's
It does, yeah, Khan.
Yeah.
Wow.
God, that was it.
Wow. You got something? You got something?
Yeah, it was, yes, like it was, looking for something, like questions I had before we started. This is, Isaiah 52 and 1, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments. So keep this truth, man. You shouldn't be dabbling in other doctrines. Unless, like, unless you build up yourself to, fasting and of that nature. Because other doctrines can sift you out, man. It can snuff you out.
Yeah.
Right?
It's good. The books, brothers going to certain books and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, you have to think about salvation.
Yeah.
Is this information getting me to salvation or not?
Yeah. Because the scripture says, prophesy in part, in part.
Exactly.
But as we're coming to the end, more knock-off stuff and evident things are coming to pass, right? Because even in the kingdom, Esau's gonna have to confess, man. He's gonna have to confess, because it's gonna be, he's gonna be compelled to confess,
Yeah.
right? Man's gonna be in chains,
Yeah.
and be kicking and clanting all over the
Yeah, like in
place.
Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
confess.
Yeah.
She just walks in, she just confess.
Yeah. When she's being tortured by that one woman.
Yeah, these Edomites are gonna confess it, man. It's gonna be brutal. O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more.
I gotta say this too because it just came to my mind. When you get into certain books and you build yourself up and stuff like certain knowledge, it's good. But the scriptures say knowledge puffed it up. So you got to be careful when you get into so many different books because you're getting all this knowledge, and because you're getting it, you're getting puffed up.
And the scriptures say knowledge shall be increased, but that doesn't mean wisdom necessarily, because the knowledge of wickedness is wisdom, as we know.
That's
So that means that there's knowledge on the left hand
That's
and the
right.
right hand. It doesn't mean like, oh, knowledge is increased. That's wonderful.
Right. That's right.
There's all kinds of madness out here.
That's right.
You know?
And who told us about that?
The apostles.
No, Solomon.
Oh, Khan. That's
Solomon told us about that.
That's true.
And
Yeah,
you telling me you're greater than Solomon?
yeah,
Solomon went into all of that, and he told us avoid that.
Yeah.
He said avoid that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
Ecclesiastes
of the
12.
And nobody studied like him. Could you imagine how he studied?
Oh my goodness.
And he said, yo, avoid it. It's vain.
Just serve the Lord. That's what he said.
That was the end.
Just serve the Lord. Yeah. Khan.
Hey, because even a good swimmer can drown. Never forget that. Even a good swimmer can drown, man.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, my godfather, he tried to save his father-in-law. And I seen it in my dream when I was young, but he passed away from doing that. And I seen it in my dream. When I was young, I didn't understand, but yeah, drowned. A good swimmer, but he got taken down because the other man wasn't calm, right? So someone else who's not on the same wavelength. That's why you have to be on the same wavelength, right?
Oh yeah.
And can bring you under.
That's true.
Wow, that's a spirit. The precept I'm holding.
Yeah, if you wanna bring it out, you can.
No,
bring
you
it
just,
out.
you just said it.
Finish
You
yours
just said it.
first.
Let's finish yours, man.
A little book, bro.
Yeah.
A little book in Revelation. Angel.
Yeah, good.
The holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come in unto thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
Hey, because remember, the journey that we're taking,
Yeah,
it's a thin line,
that's right. That's
and
right.
on every side is danger.
That's right. That's right.
So
Yeah.
if you fall off, man,
That's right.
you're not gonna fall off in anything good.
That's right.
I'll tell you that.
That's right.
So we're really tiptoeing.
That's right.
Take time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we tell bro.
Well,
Take
even-
time.
Well, even
That's right.
a danger on both sides. Even it says what did the Lord say?
Fire and water.
Well, fire and water, but there's one in
Matthews.
I think so.
Yeah.
I talk about the eye of the needle.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he said only one can
That's it.
pass through, right, at a time. So you know it's a crucial thing.
Yeah, which means.
That's why the elders always talk about the milk. That's why they always go back to the milk,
Yeah.
man. That's one thing the elders push. They push
Yeah.
the milk.
Yeah.
Because even when brothers, you might see us go into strong milk, we only go into strong milk for a bit. We don't live there.
Yeah.
You don't live there, man. That's not where you live.
Yeah, the meat.
Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong meats,
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Strong meat. Yeah. Con.
Yeah,
It's true.
makes sense.
Yeah, scripture says
That's a keto diet.
excessive
I was about to say
meat
something.
causes sickness.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Con.
The what's that one in Proverbs?
Which
It talks
makes
about-
sense to the prophets, Slappy. It makes sense when you just said to the prophets when they got those visions, they got sick.
Yeah.
That was a sex. Like what they saw was heavy meat. They saw the MOTV, World War III. They saw everything, but they didn't know they didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So they got sick. So that's a good point. Yeah.
It's about to pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stress comes with it.
Yeah.
And the Lord has to, break it down to build it up.
And Paul said, I wish, roughly paraphrasing, I wish that you not be beguiled by Satan, by the simplicity that's in Yahushua.
Hey, that's why these movies are so crucial as well to watch with understanding. That's what Star Wars was all about. I love Star Wars. Great movie. Because it has deep meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luke Skywalker and his alter ego,
That's right.
which was Darth Vader, man.
That's right.
He went off into the dark side.
Right.
And the little guy was always trying to warn him, man.
Yeah, Yoda.
Control yourself, control your emotions, man. I see you going off into the dark side.
That's right.
And that's the only thing that the brothers can do. We can warn you, but we can't stop you from going over to the dark side, man.
True.
Because what we wield has great power. This is a sword. Don't you see the lightsaber? This is our lightsaber, man. This is serious, man.
Remember in Star Wars they always had that machine?
Yeah, the robot.
The robot.
Yeah,
Remember?
RB2.
The robot?
Yeah.
Look how long ago they did make the robot.
Yeah.
Quick precept. I got it. Sirach 37 and 28. It says, "For all things are not profitable for all men. Neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meat."
Hey, and don't, I know you've seen this as an elder to where you have great knowledge and a man might not be on your level, but then that man who's not on your level might say something deep. And you're like, damn, he's great in that though. Like he's not on your level when it comes to this, but then he says something, you're like,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the
yo,
spirit, yeah, because it
spirit
edifies.
is deep.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah,
yeah, it
it
edifies,
edifies.
man.
Yeah.
That's why it's not a one-man show.
It's not a one-man show.
God.
So it says, verse 30, "For excess of meats bringeth sickness,
Right.
and surfeiting will turn into choler."
Hey, and do you know that's jealousy as well? Because I might want your gift.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm looking at your gift.
Yeah.
Now I want to be the eye.
Yeah.
How come I
Yeah.
can't be the eye?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the head. Tired of being the feet.
And it's
That's right.
subconscious.
And that's why the scriptures say, examine yourself, whether you be in the faith. You have to know what's good for you and what's not. If you can't do that as a man for yourself, you're in trouble. How can you lead if you don't know what's good for you and what's not?
Well,
In terms of knowledge, doctrine, and even in meats, you know, in rough and great, even things you do, you have to know that so you can lead properly. If you don't know that within yourself, like I know there's certain things I dove into, I'm like, nah, I already know I'm gonna get crazy if I keep going with that. I already knew, so I just
That's
left
the
it alone.
spirit. That's the spirit.
Because I can feel myself like thinking about it, and I'm like,
That's the
yeah,
spirit.
I gotta stop.
That's
I
the
gotta
spirit.
stop.
It's the spirit,
I
man.
know that's not for me, I'm gonna leave it alone.
that's the spirit, brother. And
It's just like, you know, like when brothers are into certain graphic content. I
Yeah.
know I'm not into
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
not for me. Some brothers are into graphic
That's right.
content.
That's right.
I'm just not into it.
That's right.
It ain't for me, man.
That's right.
That's right. If any brother don't have
Did you
that,
finish it?
No, I'm not finished.
Let him finish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't got a stomach for it.
It says, verse 2, shake thyself from the dust, which is the confusion of this world, man. Right? Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. So you gotta sit down, meaning being humble, man. You gotta humble yourself, you know, at certain times. So most of the time, like, you know, you talk too much. You know, it's overwhelming. Sometimes you gotta sit back and then, you know,
Scripture
observe and be circumspect. Right?
Scripture says make your words be short and
That's
sweet.
right. Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because even a fool, a few words seems wise.
Which is true.
When he keep his mouth shut.
Keep his
Yeah.
mouth shut.
It's true.
You're like, damn, he's deep.
Yeah,
He's not saying much. He knows something.
That's true.
That's why in the world they have a saying, talk shit. People are literally talking shit.
Yeah.
Babbling.
That's what's coming out of your mouth.
Bringing
is shit.
Babylon. Bringing
A
Babylon.
lot of people are gonna be judging a lot of shit that you talk.
Wow.
Yeah, it is, you know, a lot of, especially our people are getting judged. I just seen Pete Diddy video of him.
Yeah, we all saw that. Yeah.
Club or nothing.
Yeah, and the one, what happened with,
Clobber.
after from, what's his name, shooting the Bible, he got judged, right?
Oh, polite.
Yeah, cause he got too haughty.
Yeah, that's true.
example of Billy All.
But P Diddy doing what he did to the woman is none of our business.
That's
That's
exactly
none of our
That's
business.
exactly
That's their own. Yeah,
When I was watching
That's
that,
between a man and a woman.
That's
And
it.
that was what,
We don't give a
6-7
damn.
years ago? 8 years ago? What was that,
We don't give a damn, man.
That's right.
And now, do we know what wickedness she did?
Exactly.
It's none of our business, man.
Exactly. It's just distraction.
Yeah, most of the people are, the time catches up with them. It says here, loose thyself from thy bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
And what we've been reading the whole time, a lot of people don't want to be loose. They
That's
like
right.
being captives. Right?
That's right.
That's what Jeremiah 2:12 said. Right?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, they have Stockholm syndrome, man.
Yeah.
And we got to be careful of people like that, man.
Con.
That love Babylon. They'll die for Babylon.
Verse 3, for thus saith the Lord, ye have sold yourselves for naught.
Yeah, because that's the same thing that I went into with the 750. No, the 75,000
Yeah.
that they're paying us
Yeah, currency.
for our seed.
Yeah.
Our seed is worth way more than $75,000.
That's right.
Oh, you
But-
went for a thing.
But also, Japan. But also going into what happened a couple of years ago. You people sold yourself for a snake bite
Con.
for free. Some of you got ice cream. They said, here, take ice cream. Some of you got French fries.
Yeah.
Weed.
Burgers.
Some of you went on a trip.
Yeah.
And look, you went on a vacation and came back and you got dead.
Everyone got weed,
Yeah, some of them got weed. That's right, man.
donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. Sold yourself short, man.
What was it, some New York fries that you're giving out and some?
Hey, it's not even like back in the day, because remember, back in the day, I even considered this, but way before the truth.
Yeah.
They used to have things where they used to say, I don't want to say companies,
Yeah.
but those companies would call you and you'd have to spend a week there. They'll
Oh,
do certain
tests.
tests on
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
but they'll pay you like 10 grand. Yeah, they were paying big money back in the day.
The newspapers, they'd have.
You remember those things? Yo,
Pharmaceutical companies.
chill. Don't even say the word. Don't even say the word.
We had our
Don't even
people,
say the word.
we had people who are close to us, people that we know, that used to go there and run, and then now they're all messed up right now. and you gotta think, like, and they're still talking about, oh, they're still bringing out saying there's still companies that want them to do testing,
More
like lab
tests.
rats.
Well, there's a lady that did a kidney swap with a pig
What happened to him?
and died. Died right after. So
Like I personally know somebody who actually went and got their testing and all these things, but he's bugged out. This guy is like totally bugged out.
Signed a bunch of
And-
shit.
Oh,
Signed
Can't
but
do
wait,
anything.
you signed up
And-
for
Sign
it.
here and here, sir.
He
Here's the
said
next
that they're still asking him to come in and do a next thing,
of course.
even right now.
And it was
It's
the
like
spirit.
2020,
It was the spirit of
2024,
Yahweh Shem Yahushai that made me not do it. Because sometimes you're in a desperate situation, you're
Yeah.
thinking to yourself, yo, I gotta do this, yo.
Yeah.
Sounds good, yo.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
If it be possible to deceive the very elect.
Yo,
If it be
come,
possible.
come.
If it be
It's
possible.
possible. Good one. It's true.
You're more also?
And ye shall be redeemed without money. For thus saith the Lord God, my people went down therefore aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, and the Assyrian oppressed them without cause. I'm not gonna go any more further into that. That's what I was thinking of stuff. So now we're in the hands of so-called Assyrians. So we're in Egypt again.
That's right.
Yeah, all over.
All over.
We have to come
Worse
up with
than
that in
ever.
our mind because it's the strongholds. I don't know if you had something.
I had a scripture.
I thought the elder had some.
Yeah, yeah.
I had some too.
Yeah, bring it over, bring it over.
Oh,
This is kind of changing it up a little bit, but going in the spirit. This is James chapter 5 and 7. I was gonna jump at.
Yeah, the brother said, Lafallah Khan, the paid studies.
yeah, come. I thought about it, man. I thought about it. I never lie, man. Even when I lie, I tell the truth.
This says.
They were paying good though back then. That's what I'm saying. You people got paid a donut, like the elder said, man. But they were paying good back then. I would see numbers like 15,000, 10,000. Some people were getting paid the longer you stayed. There was ones for one day. There was some people stayed there for a week. They'd have you there for a whole week. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
This is.
And they always had different ones. So
Yeah.
after that week one, you could go to another.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. There was a lot, man.
And that's why that the same
That's
the
wild.
same dude that I know was talking about this money,
Yeah.
that this payout thing, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
He's like, oh, they told me to come in. I'm gonna get this money. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
things is hard out here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he's thinking about it, but he's messed up.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and I
that's
know
part
he
of that,
went.
that's part of that pharmakia, man.
Yeah,
Con.
I know he
Yeah,
went.
witchcraft.
Pharmakia shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It says, this is James chapter 5, verse 7. It says, be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth and has long patience for it
Yep.
until he received the early and latter rain.
Okay, so you think you're being patient? We're being patient. How Shai is being
Be
patient.
patient too.
He's more patient than we're being patient.
That's
He's
right.
waiting for us to get up on a level so that the Most High can be like, all right, man, boom, go,
Ready.
gather them. He's waiting just as hard or even harder than we're waiting, man. So we got to keep that in mind too.
Right?
And he's in the Heavenly Father's ear, man.
Con.
Saying, yo, these are my men.
That's right.
Yo, can I go get them?
That's right,
I
that's
want to
right.
get them right now.
That's
man.
right. The Lord's like, not yet.
Yeah, con.
Hold him back.
Yeah.
Con. Because remember, Yahweh loves that. He
Con.
loves to be bothered.
Con.
He doesn't mind it.
Yeah.
So brothers, that's why the elders always push prayer.
Con.
He loves it, man.
Complain,
That's
man.
right.
Yeah,
That's
complain,
right.
man.
That's right. He's
Complain.
Righteously.
Yeah,
That's right.
good, righteous complaining. That's right.
It's a sweet smelling savor.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
That's
That's right.
exactly what it is.
That's right.
It
Yeah.
says, verse 8, be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai draw nigh.
Yeah, so you got established means you got to be rooted. You got to be rooted in this truth. You know, so that's constantly going over the breakdowns, constantly going over, constantly examining yourself, constantly putting what you learn into practice. Oh, rinse and repeat,
Beautiful.
rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's how you perfect something.
Repetitive, man.
Yeah, repetitive.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because there's no, oh, I know the breakdown for Esau and Jacob now. Don't you know you can read it and get a deeper understanding?
Beautiful.
Don't you know you can go in and get a deeper understanding?
Living
Don't you know you
waters.
can go in next year and you read it and you're like, oh, I never saw it like
That's
that.
right.
Get a deeper understanding.
There's
There's no,
end.
I got it.
End.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
There's no end.
It's
no
living
end.
waters.
Keeps
It's living
going.
waters. It's living waters.
Right? Yeah, these receipts are always live, man.
Life.
You know, the apostle brought out the video last week, on the 3 unclean spirits. And that's exactly what the brother just mentioned, okay? Hey, the Spirit's working, man.
Yeah, man.
Right? But you missed it if you haven't responded back.
That's right.
It's serious stuff, man. Right? But it is deep, right? So real quick, I just want to say this, brother, I don't need to cut it, right? The seventh goes back to Britain, okay? And you got the receipts on that. So what it is that 3-stage thing, right? That America came out of Britain.
Yeah.
Right? Going back to the 3 unclean spirits, and you got to be able to identify now who those 3 stages are.
No, the 3 unclean spirits is. I know what you're talking about, the 3 horn, the horn that came out of the 3.
The eighth one.
That's another one, but there's
Oh,
one
okay.
that in.
Yeah, that's the 2 horns, the little horn.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
big horn.
but you're talking about the 3 unclean spirits, which is the Roman Catholic Church.
Right.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah. But he found new information on it, and it's not independent of what we knew in the past. But like brother just mentioned, it's the same thing, man. So if the Spirit's working with
It goes
you,
deeper.
yeah, it
Right?
goes
That's what he's
deeper.
trying to get to that
Yeah, the
point.
the 3 stages
Yeah.
goes into what they're doing right now.
That's right.
So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to mention
Yeah.
that, brother. It's out there.
It says, verse 9, it says, grudge not one against another, brethren, lest he take
Damn.
my brethren, the
Yo.
prophets, the Lord Yahweh, Bashem, of patience.
And that means you gotta suffer that within the brotherhood too. You know, it says grudge not one another. You did a lesson on that, and I did a lesson based upon what you did. And you mentioned a really good point about sometimes when you're going through something with brothers within, you gotta pray for that brother too. That's a beautiful point. Because you always think about praying for yourself. You're like, yo, I hope I don't, but you gotta pray for that brother too. That's a very beautiful point, man, because
Because it's part of the body.
it's part of the body.
That's right.
And we're all going through things. Demons are plaguing every brother. You know, so you gotta pray both for yourself and that brother, man. You know, and as well, you know, the scriptures talk about how it says what grudge around. You can't be holding things in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
talk to a brother or whatever.
Quick precept, Colossians 3 and 13, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Yahushua forgave you, so also do ye.
Right.
Alright, so forbearing is bearing what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Bearing your brother.
Yeah. And so you mentioned in your lesson, some brothers are just like that. Some brothers have a spirit about them and they're just like that. You have to bear it. You know, you have to pray to Most High to give you a spirit to understand and bear it and move forward. Things got to move smoothly. The wheels got to turn.
I got a quick precept.
I like that you said that. It's true. It's true at the end of the day.
I got a quick precept. I wanted to bring that up.
Okay, while you're getting there, let me just bring this one real quick.
Yeah.
This is from the comment board. This is Brother Require, Flowing Brook. It says Proverbs 25 and 16. Has thou found honey? So we're going to like many different things, right? And it says brothers going into many different things, the things that are appeasing to you. Because some brothers, you have a spirit where you love going to the history, but you also have to. The scriptures say to have rule over your spirit. Just because you love going to the history doesn't mean you just, or you love going to this, you just go all the way in and you kind of just get lost in it. You know, so you have to have rule over your spirit. So it says, Proverbs 25 and 16, has thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therein and vomit it. Right? Because you don't know what's what in the end of the day. We know the scriptures are the scriptures, and what we were taught, that is the truth. We believe it. Everything outside of that, we have to correlate to the rule book, or to the ruler.
right? This is the measuring stick.
That's right.
We measure every information out there by this book
That's
and the
right.
understanding that we got from the apostles and Yahweh Bashim El Shai.
That's right.
You know, by that.
That's your anchor.
That's it.
That's how you always pull yourself back in, because
That's right.
there's a thing known as the rabbit hole,
Right.
right? Anybody who does deep studies, you can go down rabbit holes.
That's
And
right.
when you studying is a thing where you start one place, and then you go down there,
Yeah.
and then you end up there,
Yeah.
and then you go there,
Yeah.
and then you go
It's
there.
like that big
and then
map
you
they
go
have
there.
that shows, and the guy's
Yeah.
like, here, look at that.
Yeah,
You know, and
This
this
is
is
the
crisscross.
thing.
Yo, studying is
And
serious.
someone walks
man.
in, they're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh, I was watching a thing the other day and it was like that.
It's
You
called
know,
a maze.
was it the first?
It's a
No.
maze. Yeah, you're right.
No, it was the second one, Sherlock Holmes. When he,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, man.
Yeah,
Right?
man.
That's why when you see police do their investigation, they do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Mafia.
how do we put it together?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all.
But there has to be a focal point.
Yep.
There has to be a way back out.
That's right.
You have to say, how am I gonna get back out?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it has to be an objective.
There has to be
It's
an
not like
objective.
it's like,
man.
oh, this is cool.
Yeah. That's fun.
And then you're like,
It's only like that.
how
when
did I
you're a
get
kid.
here? What?
It's only like that when you're a kid. But when you're grown up, you're like, oh fuck, I have to examine this over again.
Exactly.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a good
Oh,
point.
did I lose? you lose yourself, man.
Because there's something called retracing your steps, man.
Yeah.
Gotta know how to retrace your steps.
Like a maze, trust me.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
you're going in the dark and you're going to be stumbling,
Yeah, come on.
right?
Quick precept. 1 Corinthians 8:1. Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth.
That's the point.
Ah,
Because remember, I'm going out to get it, to bring it back.
Exactly.
Because really and truly, the sifting part should be through the brethren. We all should be sifted. I can't just bring something and say, yo, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta bring it to the brothers and
Yeah.
say, yo, this is what I found. And
Yeah.
the brothers are, and then we all analyze it.
Yeah.
You remember we used to do that
Yeah,
at
you did that.
40-20? No,
We used to do it
40-20?
on the bus, man.
No, but you remember
No, at
40-20?
Yeah.
Specifically,
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4?
yeah.
No, you know what's
That-
cool?
that-
But we
yeah,
started,
yeah.
no, but I remember we started from before that. 'cause
Oh, yeah,
we used
Con.
to, when we used to go to Conowalk, we were on the
Yeah.
bus and we were doing it in the subway.
Yeah,
We
come
were
on.
doing it all over.
Yeah, come on.
We're doing it all over the place.
Come on.
It says,
For the library, everywhere.
it says verse 2, and if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing,
See?
yet as he ought to know. And in the NLT it says, anyone who claims to know all the answers doesn't really know very much.
That's right.
Deep.
Because we all gotta edify each other, man.
Right.
That's how we strengthen each other.
Right.
Because if I'm the only one that can see it, what am I saying? That my brethren are blind? Then I don't believe my brethren are of the elect. That's a bad way of thinking.
Yeah.
Con.
If I don't believe that my brothers are righteous,
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Oh, so only I can see it? So
Yeah.
that means you brothers are walking amongst the profane.
Bro, that's ooh, man.
That's puffing up. That's border of puffing up.
You gotta be very careful in the truth.
Yeah.
Basically, you gotta be very, very careful because that's a deep saying. Someone who thinks he knows everything really knows nothing means that you don't know how big the picture really is. We're small in the grand scheme of things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, so
Oh yeah.
like, you think you're bigger than the picture
Oh
itself.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, so it's like you really don't understand who's in control of all this. This
Because
is-
we have to understand that our birth was the day we found the truth.
That's right.
Your birth is not your age. Your birth is when you found the truth.
Yeah, God.
So you are as old as when you first came to this truth. You're not the age. I don't care if you were born in 1955. I don't give a damn.
That's our old leaven. You gotta get that out.
You
You're
could
right.
be an old fool.
Yeah.
That's
Old
right.
fool, that's right.
Yeah, because when we were in the world, we were fools.
Con.
Right?
Con. That's why the scripture says be reborn.
Yeah.
Right? We're reborn.
Let me finish the script.
Yeah, come on.
It says, verse 11, Behold, we
We'll
count them.
close up soon too.
Behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai. That the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai is very pitiful and of tender mercy.
Yeah.
But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be yea, and your nay be nay.
Just be
Lest
straightforward
he-
and sincere, man. Just be sincere. The scriptures talk about what you don't know, put your hands over your mouth. You know, and don't because Paul Starr did a video on IUIC cutting off a pastor. And he made a good point about how, you know, you're cutting off someone speaking while you're examining what he's saying. That's not how you properly judge a situation.
No.
You have to. He made a great point. He said, "You do not go fishing and cast and throw rocks in water." That was great. You do not fish by throwing rocks in water. You cast your line, your rod, and you sit there patiently and quiet
Yeah.
if you want to catch fishes.
That's why when people used to come up, I just let him speak, man.
Right.
Because I want to see what he's really trying to say.
Right.
And until you can hear, okay, this guy's a bug out,
Exactly.
or he has something constructive to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like the scripture you brought up earlier, he could be sincere. He could just be ignorant.
Con.
He could be sincere, man.
There was a saying, I remember Apostle Gabari, he said, well, you got 2 ears on your head for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's to use them to hear when people think, so the one you gotta use less is your mouth.
Yeah,
It's talk-
listen twice, speak once, right?
Yeah, that's the perfect saying, yeah.
It says, yeah. So it says, lest he fall into condemnation. And let me just jump down here to 16. It says, confess your faults one to another and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. For effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Yeah, and knowledge heals you, right? So, you know, it's good to have brothers here, and you explain things to them, like you confess, yo, this is what I'm going through, blah, blah, blah. If you don't tell the full matter, how can you be fully healed with the knowledge? If you're getting advice, you can't get proper advice if you're not giving the full story. You gotta be honest. At the end of the day, you gotta be honest, or else if you're not honest, like not being honest, anything is not confessing.
This is Sirach.
Can't hide anything from the body.
That's right.
We're one body, so it doesn't even make sense, man.
Exactly.
Because we're gonna feel something is off,
Yep.
and then it's gonna start to affect the whole body,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna later on find out, we're gonna be like, oh, there was a sickness,
Yeah.
but we didn't know
Yeah.
about the sickness, and we already know what happens when you leave a sickness for too long, man.
Con.
Then you gotta cut off the whole leg. Now the leg, huh?
This is Sirach 3 and 19. It says, many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly.
Hey, because that spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh, it likes meek.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Humility.
That spirit, Sophia,
Yeah.
that lady,
Yeah.
she likes humbleness, man. And if you are not, guess what she does? She humbles you. She'll do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She'll make it a burden, and then you cast her off,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But
Just
she
like how
likes
we
a
like her.
humble place.
Con, just like how we like our women.
Oh,
It's the same thing. The Most
Same
High likes
thing.
the same way.
Yeah, quiet woman is a gift from the Lord.
oh man.
Verse 21, seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above that. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters. For more things, it is a lot of unnecessary matters, man. Right? For more things are showed unto thee than men understand.
Hey, because
Divine receipts. Slacky, you kept saying divine receipts. We already got, yes, there's multiple receipts out there, but we got the divine one. So how much more do we need to really, get into?
and a lot of you guys are eating knowledge, but you're not digesting knowledge. So you got to be careful, man. It's about digesting, right, and making it do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
I'm going into the faith.
Some of you guys are chewing the bones, swallowing the bones.
Swallowing the bones, exactly. You're choking now. Yeah, or you're vomiting. Yeah.
We're gonna get the whole truth nothing but the truth, like 100% on no Esau bullshit. All that's
Yeah,
gonna
the
be
kingdom.
burned up
The kingdom.
after when this place, receives its judgment, right?
Verse 20, verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment.
And that's all that it is. It's a suspicion. It's a suspicion that things that might be it.
Yeah.
Oh, this might be it. That's only a suspicion. And if that's your suspicion, why throw it into a foundation? You already have a foundation. There's no need to upset that foundation.
That's right.
Right? You know how easy it is to throw off an ecosystem? I've learned that from when I was a kid, man. Ecosystems are very sensitive.
Yep.
If you go into an ecosystem and you introduce a new animal, it can throw off the whole ecosystem.
That's right.
Something
That's
as
right.
small as a bug.
That's right.
A little small bug
Yeah.
can throw off a whole
They
ecosystem,
had an
right?
episode like that in Simpsons where there was, I think, killer bees or some shit, and they brought in another predator, and then they were fucking up, and then they said, no, we gotta get rid of them. They brought in another predator.
Wow.
Well, this is our ecosystem, man.
That's
We
right.
have to know how to balance it, man. We have to know how to keep it a certain way.
Hey, sometimes they'll have signs, they'll say, birds don't eat
Yeah.
bread or...
Come on, yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
can't feed them
They
bread.
don't eat that shit.
Come on.
Yeah.
Bleached out bread, like...
Come on.
That's so-
And can the bird eat it? Yes,
Yeah.
but what is it gonna do?
Right.
What is it gonna do?
Yeah, 'cause the
So
bread-
you can just be
yeah,
like, yo,
yeah.
fuck.
The
Bird
bread's
eat
soft,
bread.
it breaks up in the water, but what
Yeah.
happens in his body?
There's like that movie, Butterfly Effect.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys are
good
watching.
movie.
Anytime you try to go back and fix something, it fucked up the
Fucked it up.
future.
Mhm.
You know? Yeah, that was a good movie.
Verse 25, without eyes thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge therefore that thou hast not.
Jeez.
A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. Alright?
Because that's also letting you know that you don't understand your role or your place, right?
Yeah.
If a brother is dealing with herbs, I'm going to that brother with herbs. Not that another brother can't be good with herbs, but
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to that brother because that's his station.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
his office. If I need something about this, I'm gonna go to that brother. Don't try to usurp another person just because you think you have that now. You'll be known for whatever you're known for.
Exactly.
We all are.
Yeah.
The spirit is gonna manifest itself,
That's
man.
right. That's right.
You don't need to usurp yourself. The
That's
spirit
right.
will manifest itself, man.
God.
It just will.
That's true. That's true.
I'll just read a couple verses in the
Yeah.
GNT, verse 24. It says, many people have been misled by their own opinions. Their wrong ideas have warped their judgments.
Simple and plain.
Stubbornness will get you into trouble at the end. If
Yeah.
you live dangerously, it will kill you.
Yeah.
A stubborn person will be burdened down with troubles. Sinners go on adding one sin to another.
And that goes for all of us, man. This is a learning lesson. This is not a pointing finger thing. This is a learning lesson for all of us, man.
That's right.
Because you know why? That's the spirit of a Jake. That's just the spirit of a Jake.
Yeah.
When you go into Ezekiel, it tells you what type of people that they are, and it's exactly what the elders read it, man.
Yeah.
So this is a spirit that's in all of us.
That's right.
So, but we have to cast that off.
That's
Man.
right. That's right.
We have to purge it.
That's right.
Verse 28, there is no cure for the troubles that arrogant people have. Wickedness has taken deep root in them. Intelligent people will learn from proverbs and parables. They listen well because they want to learn.
Wow.
So is it?
And the Apostle Cabarro is going to, we'll close up soon, but Apostle Cabarro goes into how, the understanding of things. Because him and Apostle Ramla were carpenters.
Mhm.
So if you're putting something on the second floor, you have to go to the basement to understand the foundation of that second floor. How many beams are going through?
Yep, yep.
Can it hold this amount of pounds? Da, 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 da.
And can I tell you something before
Yeah.
you go on?
Yep, yep.
A rookie could come in and know what they're talking
Yep,
about,
yep.
and then the apostles as a carpenters can tell them, you know what? No, don't do it that way. But then the kid's gonna be like, no, this is what I
This
learned
is
in
what I
school.
learned. That's right.
And then the apostle's gonna be like, I understand. Now watch.
This is how it works.
So it's not always just about what you learned.
That's right.
The experience
That's right.
might show you
Beautiful.
that we might learn that,
Completely different thing.
but then something else will happen when you do that, man.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, man. That's
Different.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the brother said feeding the ducks Cheetos.
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah, man, bug out Lay's, you know?
Yo, that's true.
Dorito jalapeno.
Oh, that's wicked, man. That's fucking wicked.
Yeah, that's true, man.
No, but that's facts because remember Paul said, take account how every man builds upon a
Oh,
foundation.
yes.
For no foundation can be laid than Yahushua.
Right.
Right? So he's the
Yeah,
cornerstone.
yeah.
So some guys try to leave their own foundation. Like, no, this way's better.
No, that's beautiful. And I have to say this because Yahushua is the foundation. So he has the doctrine and he gave it to the apostles on down. So like if you come into information and you think the apostles, and I just gotta say it like how
Just
it
say
is.
it straight,
You think the apostles don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that you're going against the foundation because the apostles were already given. You have to trust the apostles were already given the foundation.
That's right.
And if there's something that needs to be added, the Yahushua is going to go through the rank and file. Because the Most High is not someone who goes out of order.
Decency and in order.
In order. Decency
Yeah, you
and
won't
order.
change your order for any
If
man.
we
I'm
need
sorry.
to know anything, the Most High is going to put the Spirit on the apostles, on down, bishops and elders, and we're going to hear about it and we're going to know. Otherwise, you come into information and you start thinking, well, I don't think the apostles know this.
Yeah, like Barzal, he's like, oh, Apostle Tahar should retire because he's 60 or something.
Yeah.
He should retire. We're the new guys.
Right.
Quickly back you up.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians 3 and 10 in the NLT. Because of the Most High's grace to me, I have laid the foundation like an expert builder.
Yeah.
Now others are building on it.
Right.
But whoever is building on this foundation must be very careful. For no one can lay any foundation other than the one we already have, Yahushua and Mashiach.
Wow.
Right.
Anyone who builds on that foundation may use a variety of materials: gold, silver, jewels, wood, hay, or straw. But on the judgment day, fire will reveal what kind of work each builder has done. The fire will show if a person's work has any value.
Yo.
If the work survives, that builder will receive a reward.
Right.
But if the work is burnt up, the builder will suffer great loss. The
Damn.
builder will be saved, but like someone barely escaping through a wall of flames.
Yeah, you're gonna come out looking like Fire Marshal Bill.
Mangled. All mangled up. Yep.
Oh, that was it.
Oh,
Yeah, man. And I gotta say this too. Your building isn't just what you teach, but it's also how your character too. Okay, Yahushua was the example of not just the doctrine that we got to build upon, but also the character we have to build upon. How he lived his life, how he conducted himself. Our character needs to be based upon that foundation. So that's very important, man. That's very important. So, anyways, like I was saying earlier, man, you cannot once you start having thoughts that maybe I know some of the apostles don't know, you gotta pray because you said decency and order. There's no way Yahweh Shem El Shai is gonna jump down to the bottom to teach the top.
Yeah, that's not the order
You know
of
what I'm
things,
saying?
just
Never.
in case you forget.
He never does that. He's not
You
even
never
never
worked like that
You
before.
have to wait. You have to wait on the Lord.
It would be the first time in history.
exactly.
It would be the first time in our history.
Come on.
Yeah.
Anyways, brother, got any last precepts?
Just real quick, because I have something, but it was going back to the vision, right? I just want to ask you real quick, because it just ties it in. I have a quick precept in the book of Proverbs. But remember, he said you had the Lord show you was it your godfather?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember how long it was before that you were shown? Like, I'm just saying a time frame, and then it happened.
It happened when I think it was like, this was in the 80s, so I was probably like probably about 4 or 5 years old.
Right?
And I got that
With
in a dream.
hey. Anyway,
Yeah.
let me get to the precept.
Yep.
Because the point is, it was shown to you,
Mhm.
right? And simply put, it played out when the time was right.
Yeah, and it was pretty scary too, because when I was in the dream, like, there was an angel there, but I couldn't like turn my head. 'Cause, yeah, I had certain dreams, like I can't turn my head, it's just someone's there on my side, like holding me, and then I'm like looking, just at the specific what's happening. So that was like one of my first dreams. I remember that when I was little, and I remember it was like pretty brutal. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, who's that drawing? I couldn't figure it out. And then I remember when my mom was talking about, oh, my godfather, he passed away. He was trying to save his father-in-law.
Wow. Beautiful. Real quick, this is Proverbs 29 and 18 and 19. And it says, actually, I want to read the 17th verse. It says, correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest.
Right.
Yes, he shall give delight unto thy soul. So simply put, right? We know who's giving this rest, right? It is passed down. And then here's the point, actually, verse 18, it says, where there is no vision, right? The people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he, right? So simply put, man, the vision goes into the foundations, right? In regards to what we had in the past, all those receipts that you don't have a tangible paper for, but in the spirit by faith, you know what that is, okay? And more information is going to come because the Lord is going to reveal more, right? Simply put. But it all goes into those prophecies, right? Past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct doctrine and yeah.
That's right. And then, you notice it says that happy is he that keepeth the law, right? Because that's going into the instruction and your special breakdowns for those instructions.
Yeah.
All of them, and they come from Yehovah Shem Yoshar, right down to the apostles on down.
Yeah,
And
because
he-
like,
yeah, go ahead,
the
go
law
ahead.
was fulfilled in only one person, in Yahweh Shai.
Yeah,
So you have to keep Yahweh Shai's doctrine.
correct.
That's how you fulfill the law.
He's correct.
Whatever Yahweh Shai taught, whatever he showed us as the example, you have to keep that, and that's how you fulfill the law. Right? So then when it says where there's no vision, the people perish.
Mhm.
The gift of faith gives us the ability to believe in something that we can't see yet. So if you don't have the correct doctrine, your faith is being compromised. You're starting to go into certain different things, and you're seeing your faith is going to be compromised because you have to have the correct doctrine to be able to see something that other people can't see.
Here's the clincher, what we've been saying all along in spirit and in truth in this talk. A servant will not be corrected by words. Right? Young guys, you don't know what that means because it gives you an answer. Even if you read it backwards, it says for though he understand, he will not answer. So this means that he's going to be practical, and he's going to wait on the Lord, and he's going to be practical in the spirit. He's not going to run ahead. He's not going to give his own answer.
Right.
In the simplest way. Precept. Okay? Just wanted to bring that out.
Come. Nothing else, say?
No, that was it.
Beautiful, man. So we're gonna close up. We're gonna give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Makakadash.
Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who grew well and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercies to the elect, starting with 124,000 that pushed in this word in truth and sincerity across the 4 corners of the earth. And the rest of the elect is sincerely believe. Peace and mercy to you and your household. Lord willing, this was edifying and exhorting to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, the hopeful elect, and we're going to say above.
Above.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Elect, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.